Welcome to the Distinguished Lecturer Training for CTTC Chairs. First, we'd like to thank you for your service as a Chapter CTTC Chair. If this is your first year or second decade, you are a critical part of providing current and relevant HVAC&R information to and from the chapters. As you listen, we encourage you to write down any questions or comments you may have and schedule a call with your CTTC Regional Vice Chair or RVC to discuss. Any feedback received will help to improve future training materials and will facilitate stronger communication between CTTC participants. The ASHRAE Distinguished Lecturer or DL program has been in place for nearly 20 years. Its purpose is to provide chapters with respected lecturers that may not typically be available in a chapter's immediate vicinity. These DLs may speak on relevant subjects of interest without incurring large costs to the chapter. Many lecturers have agreed to speak as a volunteer of ASHRAE. Society has agreed to take care of the transportation costs associated with lecturers' travel. CTTC oversees and supervises the program, annually updating the approved list of distinguished lecturers and topics, and regularly reviewing the evaluations and feedback received. Our training today will cover the potential benefits to your chapter that come from using the DL program, how to schedule a DL, and what additional resources are available. In many locations throughout the world, ASHRAE members and their guests gather on a regular basis, often monthly, for training, seminars, workshops, technical sessions, networking, fellowship, and fun. Regular chapter meetings facilitate the sharing of technical knowledge, experiences, and discoveries. The DL program allows chapters to plug into the resources of the whole society and share in the knowledge developed across regions, countries, and the world. The ASHRAE DL program is diverse. Over 70 lecturers have been pre-selected to speak on over 300 topics. Lecturers have a wide range of backgrounds and represent 13 countries and 10 different languages. This diversity ensures that the program is truly available to chapters in every corner of the world and brings the knowledge of the society to each attendee. Many of the approved topics cover emerging concepts and recent industry research. Each year, lecturers are invited to submit new topics, ensuring the list is relevant and up to date. DLs are skilled presenters and have proven experience in their fields and the society. Hosting an ASHRAE DL is a great way to boost a chapter's attendance, especially when paired with a strong follow-up. DL visits also provide an opportunity to reach out beyond ASHRAE and involve other organizations. Many topics are relevant across multiple disciplines and organizations and give a local ASHRAE chapter the ability to lead industry-wide educational opportunities in their area. Many DL topics and lecturers have qualified to provide continuing education credits, helping attendees to fulfill requirements in multiple licensing and certifying organizations. Neighboring chapters can strengthen relationships as they work together to co-host DL visits. Co-hosting provides chapters the ability to have more DL visits in a single year, since each chapter may host. CTTC has worked hard to simplify the procedure for scheduling a distinguished lecturer visit. All relevant information is available on the ASHRAE CTTC website. The first step to hosting a DL is to contact your RVC for CTTC. Meet the CTTC RVC at your chapter regional conference, or CRC. RVCs host training for incoming and continuing chapter chairs, and your RVC will host the one that you attend. If you have not met your CTTC RVC, contact your chapter president, who will have contact information for all regional officers. During your year as chapter CTTC chair, you should plan to regularly communicate with your CTTC RVC. The Society allocates DL visits to each region on an annual basis, starting July 1st. The regional CTTC chairs then determine how these visits may be shared amongst chapters in your region. The RVC will know how many allocations were made, how many have been utilized, and if any are still available. Next, go online to the DL webpage, where a list of topics and contact information is provided. Here you will find information on every approved DL for this society year. DLs are constantly changing, so don't assume a past presenter is still available. Each year, a handful of DLs may retire from the program, and new DLs volunteer. DLs are also responsible for updating their topics, so check the website regularly. Next, contact the DL directly to request they present to your chapter. If a DL has multiple topics, then specify which topic you would like them to lecture on. Be sure to contact the DL several months ahead, so there is adequate time to make travel arrangements. In addition, provide several potential meeting dates for the DL, so they can select a time that works best for everyone. Once you have worked out the visit date with the DL, it's time to obtain written confirmation. Got your written confirmation? You are now ready to fill out the participation form, which identifies specific information needed for the chapter, RVC, and society program staff to ensure that a DL visit is set up properly. Sections at the top of the form identify the name of the lecturer, host chapter, selected DL topic or presentation, and the lecture date and visit date. The visit date is provided to show anticipated travel time that may be needed to arrive and depart from the host city. For example, if a DL is presenting at an evening lecture, then they may not be able to depart until the next day. If you have made arrangements to host a DL and share the visit with nearby chapters, then be sure to check the multi-chapter visit box. You can then identify the other chapter or chapters in item 9. Ensure the date of visit encompasses the entire trip, including any co-sponsoring chapters' lectures. In addition, if you invite other industry organizations to attend the lecture, please list those in item 9 as well. Per the ASHRAE DL transportation policy, the Society has agreed to provide transportation costs from the DL's home location to the host chapter city. ASHRAE does not provide reimbursement for local costs, such as hotel, meals, or local transportation. The host chapter agrees to cover or make arrangements for these expenses on behalf of the DL, whether paying them directly, reimbursing them, or some combination. Host chapters should ensure that they have discussed these expenses with the DL as they confirm the visit and be ready to promptly reimburse the lecturer. This information should be entered on the form in item 6. Complete and sign the form and submit it to your regional CTTC RVC. Your RVC will approve the form and submit it to chapter programs for final confirmation. Headquarters will send confirmation to the DL, RVC, and Headquarters will send confirmation to the DL, RVC, and chapter CTTC chair, as stated at the bottom of the form. Chapter program staff typically provides confirmation within 3 days of receiving a fully completed and approved form from the RVC. DL visits are a special event for ASHRAE chapters. Upon confirmation, ASHRAE staff will send you several items, including the lecturer's bio and headshot. Utilize these materials by promoting the lecture in chapter newsletters and meeting announcements. On the day of the lecture, ensure that arrangements are made to meet the DL. Be sure to coordinate local transportation to the meeting, hotel, and any other venues they may visit. If there is extra time in the host city, you may make arrangements for the DL to meet with your chapter leadership, local industry leaders, or local government leaders. Ensure that there is ample time to attend these meetings, travel, and allow for some rest for the DL as well. At the event, ensure that computers, projectors, screens, and other needs are provided and set up as needed. Introduce chapter officers and be sure to welcome the DL. Make arrangements to introduce the DL during the meeting. Pass out the lecture evaluation form to all attendees and collect them at the end of the meeting. You will use these evaluations to complete the event summary critique form. This information provides valuable feedback and is used to make decisions about the program for future years. Complete the event summary critique form and submit the form to headquarters staff at the email provided on the form. Following the meeting, ensure the DL is comfortable, has overnight lodging if needed, and that they safely return to the host city departure point. Be prompt in responding to the DL's request for reimbursement that you worked out prior to the visit. A critical deadline in the DL program is November 30th of each year. While CTTC RVCs may set earlier deadlines for allocated visits, all chapters and regions must submit the DL participation form and have it confirmed by ASHRAE staff prior to November 30th. Following this deadline, all remaining allocated visits that have not been confirmed by headquarters will be placed in a common pool. Every chapter in ASHRAE has equal opportunity to apply for allocated DL visits from this pool. These visits will have the same benefit, where ASHRAE Society will reimburse transportation. The key difference is that you may bypass RVC approval for common pool visits, and chapter CTTC chairs may submit the completed participation form directly to ASHRAE headquarters staff to request and confirm a visit. Typically, chapters that use common pool visits have made arrangements ahead of time and are looking to have additional visits to their chapter beyond those allocated through the regions. Over the past several years, all the common pool visits have been allocated on the first business day following November 30th. Preparation is key. Chapters may continue to use ASHRAE DLs throughout the year, and not only through the allocation and reimbursed visits. Chapters can schedule a DL directly for their chapter meeting at any time if they agree to pick up all reimbursement costs, including transportation to their chapter city. These are referred to as non-allocated visits. There is no limit to the number of non-allocated visits that chapters may schedule. RVCs and ASHRAE staff still request the participation form be filled out to confirm the arrangements of the visit and to have a record of DL usage over time. Chapters should also submit the Event Summary Critique form for non-allocated visits so that DLs and the CTTC committee may continue to monitor the effectiveness of the program. This slide provides additional resources and information. Including the 2 web pages at ashrae.org that will be most useful to you during your year as Chapter CTTC Chair. The listed email addresses may be used to contact ASHRAE staff associated with the DL program at any time, and staff can answer any questions you may have. Your most valuable resource will be your Regional Vice Chair. Be sure to establish a strong communication channel with your RVC throughout the year to ensure a successful year as Chapter CTTC Chair. ASHRAE's DL program has provided many benefits over the years, and your continued usage will ensure it continues to benefit individuals, chapters, and ASHRAE Society for years to come.